Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to do a very, very beautiful, yet easy stitch to do. So if you know how to single crochet and double crochet, you'll be able to do this. This is called the spiked V-stitch. So it does have a drop stitch in it or a spike stitch, either way, whatever you call it. Generally I call it a drop stitch, but it's very easy to do. This would be so beautiful for many things. I think it would make a very beautiful top or sweater, scarf, a very pretty scarf and hat set. You know, blankets, really anything that you wanted to make with it, you could make with it. And it works up quite fast too. So do you guys want to go ahead and get started on it? It's a very easy 2-row repeat. We all like the easy yet beautiful 2-row repeats. All right, let's go ahead and get started. But first, remember, if you're new to my channel, thank you for joining me. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you never miss any of my videos. Give this video a like if you enjoy. So for the purpose of my tutorial, I am using a Lion Brand Landscapes, which is a medium weight number 4 100% acrylic yarn. And the color I'm using is called Boardwalk. But you can use any yarn that you want and any weight of yarn that you want, because I will give you the multiple, and you can just adjust your chain length to your desired length depending on what you're making. And for my tutorial I'm using a size J, which is a 6mm crochet hook. Okay, so this is done. You want to go ahead and start with a slip knot and a multiple of 2. So any even number of chains will work. So depending on what you're making, you just chain in an even number. So once you got your chain, as long as you want it to be, like if you're making a baby blanket, I would say if you wanted it to be, if you're using a medium weight number 4, say you wanted it to be about 40 inches, probably a chain about 130 or 140 would work, using a 6mm hook. But you know, as wide as you want it. If you're making a scarf, you know, however wide you want it. Okay. Now what we're going to do for row 1 is we are going to do a single crochet in the second stitch from our hook. So remember, we do not count the one that's on our hook. So don't count this one. So there's 1 and 2. We go into that second stitch there and we single crochet. Now we're going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch for the length of our chain. Just like this. So row 1 is 1 single crochet in every stitch until you get to the end of the row. Alright, so I've made it to the end of row 1, and now we're going to start row 2. Row 2, we're going to start by chaining 1 and turning your work like that. Doesn't matter which way that you turn it. If you turn it this way or if you turn it this way, either way is fine. But we're going to go ahead and start in this very first stitch right here, this one right here, and we're going to work a double crochet into that very first stitch. Just like that. And now into the next stitch, the very next stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So there's 1 and there's 2. Now we're going to start our repeat of the row by skipping 1 stitch and putting 2 doubles into the next. So I'm going to skip this one, skip, and then the next 2 double crochets into the same stitch. Like that. Again, skip 1 stitch, skip, and then the next 2 doubles into the same stitch. That's 1. And there's 2. Again, skip 1, 2 doubles into the next. Now we're going to repeat this, skipping 1 and 2 doubles into the next, skipping 1, 2 doubles into the next, until we get to the last stitch of our row. Okay, I've come to the end of row 2 and I did 2 double crochets here, and I should have 1 stitch that remains. So we just go directly into the very last stitch and put a double crochet. So there is no stitch to skip at the end. Just go directly in and work a double crochet. And that will end row 2. And now we're going to start row 3. So row 3 and 4 are the repeat rows for the whole stitch. It's very easy. So for row 3, we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. Now we're going to put 1 single crochet right here into this very first stitch. And we're going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch across until we get to the end of the row. So row 3 is just 1 single crochet in every stitch. All right, I'm coming to the end of row 3. Excuse me, I'm going to go ahead and put a single crochet into the last stitch, and that will end that row. Now we're going to start row 4, and we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. So what we're going to do is put a double crochet right here back into the very first stitch. 1 double. Okay, now we're going to start the repeat of row 4. So we're going to skip 1 stitch. And in the next stitch, we're going to work a drop stitch or a spike stitch, whatever you call it. So we're going to skip this single crochet here, and we're going to work it down here. So right down here on this row where we put the 2 double crochets in the same stitch, we're going to drop all the way down, and we're going to put 2 double crochets in between those 2 double crochets. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to find where I put my 2 double crochets in the same stitch, 2 rows down. There's no chain 1 in between them, so you just go directly in between the stitches all the way down. Make sure you go under that loop, or see this loop right here? Make sure you go under that one and work 2 double crochets. Not real tight, kind of draw up a bit. There's 1 double, go back into that same spot and work another double. Draw up a bit and do your double. Again, we're kind of skipping 1 single crochet, but we're going to work down here again. You find the next 2 rows down, the next 2 double crochets that we put into the same stitch, and we're going to work 2 double crochets right here in between them. If it helps, you can put your finger in between them like that to hold your spot, but go ahead and yarn over and go. Remember, we don't go right here where this spot's at. We need to go below that little loop that's right there. So sometimes that's why it helps to put your finger in between them and go all the way down. There we go. And work a double, draw up just a little bit longer than normal. There's 1 double, and then we go and we put another double into the same spot, like that. Again, we're actually skipping 1 single crochet, and then we're working down here 2 rows below where the 2 double crochets are in the same stitch. Put your finger in there, that way you can hold them apart. And we're going to work 2 doubles into that same spot. So there's 1, go back into that same spot, and there's 2, and now you're working drop stitches or spike stitches. Again, kind of skipping a single, but we're working down here. Here's our next 2 double crochets, 2 rows down, put finger in there, hold them apart, and we're going to work 2 double crochets in between them. See, that's not hard at all, is it? You can do it. Just like that. And this is what we're going to repeat until we get to the end. Again, we're skipping the single, and then you find your next set of 2 double crochets, 2 rows down, and we're going to work 2 double crochets in between them. Just like that. And we're going to keep repeating this until we get to the last stitch of our row. All right, once you make it to the end, I just did my 2 double crochets right here, this drop stitch right here, and I have, if you want to be correct, you have this single crochet here and this single crochet here, but we'll skip one, and then the very last single crochet will work 1 double crochet, and that will end a row 4, and that will end the repeat. So what you do now is you repeat row 3 again, which is the row of single crochet. So you chain 1 and turn. Now this is, when you turn it right now, this is the right side of your work. So you just keep repeating rows 3 and 4. I'll put timestamps or chapters there where you can click on the video and it'll take you right back, but it's very easy. Remember, this is the right side of the work and this is the back side, but really you can pick whichever side you liked better. This was, though, is the correct way of presenting it, but really there's no correct way in crochet. It's just whatever you like better. But this is it. This is how you crochet it. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope that you enjoyed my tutorial. Remember, once you get to going, it's super easy, it's super quick. This took me just like hardly any time at all to make up this swatch. And I will see you guys on my next video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like button, and share it if you can. I really appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you next time. Stay safe everybody. Bye bye.